Good morning and thank you, Steph. Okay, with 94 new COVID cases reported yesterday, residents of York Region find themselves in a modified stage 2 pandemic mode as of today. That means no indoor dining, with gyms, theaters ordered closed for at least the next 28 days, which now joins Toronto, Peel and Ottawa in this rollback. Public gatherings restricted to 10 people indoors, 25 people outside. Premier Ford ordered the move late last week after health officials sounded the alarm about the rising number of cases in the region, home to 1.2 million people. Now, the stage 2 partial rollback also means tighter restrictions for long-term care homes in York Region. Only essential visitors, including caregivers, will be allowed into those facilities. As for residents there, they will only be allowed out for medical or compassionate reasons. They will not be allowed out for short-term social visits. These same restrictions are also in place in Toronto, Peel and Ottawa. And coming up here at 7:30, we will be hearing from Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti, who urged the province to include his region in the rollback several weeks ago. We will hear from the mayor about the possible impact on York. Again, that's coming up in an hour and a half's time. Well, more than 30 people have contracted COVID-19 at 3 major Toronto hospitals: St. Joseph's, Toronto Western, and the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health. At St. Joe's, 7 new patients have contracted the virus on top of 22 others, including 13 staff members. 4 different units have declared outbreaks there. Meanwhile, at CAMH, they are confirming that 2 patients have tested positive. Now, we are standing by live right now at Toronto Western, where 2 more units are battling outbreaks. UHN says in a statement that 3 patients and 6 staff members have tested positive. All cases are presumed to be transmissions within the hospital. A facility announces an outbreak whenever a unit has reported at least 2 COVID-19 cases within a 14-day period. To the education front now, parents with kids in the Toronto Catholic District School Board, you have until noon today to switch your child's learning modules. So it means deciding between virtual and in-class attendance. The change would then take place Monday, November the 16th for elementary students and on the 19th for secondary students. Meanwhile, the Toronto District School Board will no longer allow switches from in-person to virtual in November for those elementary students. The next chance to change, it's going to be in January. As for secondary students, that is currently on hold. 6:08 is your time right now to a City News exclusive. The Ford government, we are learning, is overhauling the Blue Bin program, which will see the product producers responsible for the cost of that program, plus an expansion of the items that can actually be recycled. So in a move that will save and projected municipalities over $130 million a year, the cost of Blue Bin recycling will now be covered by the producers of the products and packaging. You will also be able to recycle paper, plastic cups, wraps, foils, trays, and bags, as well as some other single-use items. The Blue Box program is currently run by the Ontario Stewardship Council. The cost is split with municipalities. This transition is not going to be happening until 2023 for Toronto, and there should be no interruption to service. By the way, the official announcement on this one coming down at 9 o'clock this morning. Of course, we'll be following that here with Breakfast Television and City News. Okay, it is the last day for advanced polling to fill vacancies for 2 Toronto area ridings whose MPs have both quit. We're talking York Centre voters. They will be choosing their replacement for Michael Levitt, who stepped down for personal reasons. And in Toronto Centre, residents will be voting for a successor to former Finance Minister Bill Morneau, who left office in the midst of the We Charity scandal. As always, you're going to need that voter card or valid proof of name and address in order to cast your ballot. This will be the first by-election since the start of the pandemic, and health and safety measures will be in place. Election Day is next Monday. Several MPs calling for an emergency debate today after increasing violence on lobster fisheries in Nova Scotia.
Whoa, black smoke, Amy.
A massive fire you can see here raging at a First Nations lobster facility in the south of the province. The latest incident of escalating violence against the population there in the region. Tensions have been simmering for weeks. Local fishers are upset about a moderate livelihood fishery launched by the Indigenous community outside of the commercial season, although it is part of their treaty rights. Public Safety Minister Bill Blair has approved a request for an increased RCMP presence in the area. We're going to continue to follow developments in this story for you here through the morning and through the coming days.